Well, hey there, neighbor. It's me, Angie. Come on in here. We have a very sensitive topic we need to talk about today. Yeah, I said it. Very sensitive. Now, I know it's going to be several different things that we're going to be talking about. Now, what I'm about to share with you is strictly my opinion. Now, I respect your opinion. I value your opinion. You can have a different opinion than I do, and I'm still going to be your friend. We're still going to be neighbors. That's what makes the world go around. But I just want to share a few things with you to let you know how my mind works, on how I think about things. The first thing is, I don't know if all you know, but I had a doctor's appointment with my endocrinologist yesterday for a checkup. Nothing major going on, just a checkup. Well, before you have to go into the office, they take your blood pressure, your temperature. They draw blood if they need to. And then, guess what? You have to step on the scale. Well, I normally, if I don't want to step on the scale, and this was back before I got on steroids and had to start taking steroids, even when I would go to my female doctor, I never wanted to get on the scale. And back then, I was not as heavy as I am now. Not even close. So I would always refuse at the female doctor, the gynecologist, if I didn't want to step on the scale. I felt like if I don't want to do that, they could look at me and tell that I'm not, they could tell that I'm healthy and that I'm not gaining too much weight or losing too much weight. You can look at somebody and tell things like that most of the time. But yesterday, when the nurse came out and said, I need to get your weight, I said, no, ma'am, I don't want to get on the scale. And she said, why? And I thought, well, I'll get out of it easy and say, well, your scales probably will not allow me to stand up because they're not the handicap scale, and I can't balance myself, which is the truth. I was not telling a fib about that. She said, oh, no, ma'am, we have the scale that actually is for handicapped people, and you can stand up on them. And I said, okay, well, I still don't want to get on the scale. And she said, oh, no, ma'am, I have to have your weight. I said, well, you can look at me and tell that I'm pretty healthy, and I haven't lost weight since the last time that she has seen me, and I just really don't want to get on the scale. And so she said, no, I need you to get on the scale. Well, James is standing behind me, and he said, baby, just get on the scale. It's not going to hurt anything. Well, that didn't go over well with me at all. But guess what Angie did? She got out of her wheelchair, stepped up on the scale, and got weighed, which it only hurt for a second. And honestly, after it was all said and done, it really wasn't a big deal. It was just the fact that I didn't want to do it, and she was going to force me to do it. Well, that's my theory on getting on a scale. Now, other people have different things that they don't like, such as a lot of women don't like to give their age. I don't mind that. I don't mind telling people how old I am. If I have a 27-year-old and a 31-year-old child, you got to know that I'm in my 50s or my late 40s, unless I had children when I was really, really young, which I don't mind it. I am so glad to be here for another day. Age is just a number, and we age by an aging gene that we have in our body. A lot of people think time ages us, but we actually have a gene inside our body that ages us. Now, we can make ourselves look older if we want to, or younger, we think, but we have an aging gene. Now, some of us have great aging genes, which make us look, I say us, but make people look really good for their age. And then others don't have such a good aging gene. Well, what difference does it make? You have your thoughts and I have my thoughts. Now, you may not like to tell your age, and that's fine. You don't have to. I don't mind it. You may not mind getting on the scale, but I do. I don't like that. Now, in the privacy of my own home, I'll get on a scale and weigh myself. I don't mind. Another thing, some women like gray hair. I love it. I couldn't wait to get my first gray hair because I love gray hair. Now, some women, when they get their first gray hair, they just do not like it at all. And that's them. And they put, they highlight their hair. They put coloring on their hair. They do whatever. That's great. That's great for them. And I want them to feel good about themselves, and I want them to continue to do that. What I want to tell you is there's no right or wrong about what those choices are. I mean, you can choose to tell your age or not tell your age, tell your weight, not tell your weight, have gray hair, not have gray hair. I mean, that's all choices. That's not something that is a definite, like we have to all pay taxes. We all have to, we're all gonna not be here one day, so we don't have a choice about that. But there are things that we still have a choice about. So, I respect anybody's choice of what their belief is as far as what they want to wear, their hair color, anything like that. I respect that. But I'm just coming to you today kind of telling you some of the ways my brain works and how I think about things and what I believe. Now, it may not necessarily be right for you, and that's fine. That's what makes the world go around. That's why we have chocolate and vanilla and strawberry. We all have choices that we can get a different flavor. We don't have to all have the same idea. Can you imagine how boring the world would be if we all liked the same thing and we all thought the same way? Man, it would be so boring. And we wouldn't have progressed any, because these people that are born that have these ideas about creating new technology. Now, if we were all thinking like I think, we would never have had all the technology that we have today. I mean, we wouldn't have the cell phone. I mean, we probably wouldn't have the phone, the one that used to use your finger, the rotary phone, which I don't know if a lot of you know that watch my channel what that is, but there was a such thing called a rotary phone. Some of them hung on the wall, had this cord that you had to walk around with, couldn't get very far from it. And you sure couldn't take it with you on in the car or outside or anywhere like that. And when someone would call and you were on the phone, they would get this bonk, 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 this busy signal. So we've come a long way. And just think, if everybody thought the way I think, we wouldn't have all that. So we have to have different thinkers. So don't ever be ashamed of the way your mind works or how you think, because you may create something that'll change the whole world. I'm just letting you know how I feel about certain things and the way my mind works, to let you know it's okay for you to be the way you are. And I'm going to accept you for the way you are, no matter what you do or say, to a certain point. Now, there are some areas that I probably would not agree with you on, but I would probably never tell you. But we would keep some things to ourselves. That's why I never talk about politics or religion on my channel, because I think that's a personal thing between, that you need to keep to yourself, and we'll just leave it at that. But other things, as far as other ways that we think, we women, because most women watch my channel. Now, if there are some men out there, thank you for viewing in, and maybe you can learn something of how we women think it. It might help you out in the long run. So when we get back in the car, let's get back to the story about me having, I say I had to weigh at the doctor's office. No, I eventually just chose to get up on the scale and weigh. She didn't make me weigh. I got up there and weighed. So we get back in the car, and of course the subject comes up about me not wanting to get on the scale. My husband was like, why was it so hard for you to get on that scale? And I said, well, why was it so hard for you to get on it before you had the gastric bypass surgery? I mean, you knew you were big. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't believe that James used to weigh 320 pounds. But now he weighs between 2 and 210. But several years ago, probably 20 now, he had the gastric bypass surgery. And he didn't want to get on the scale when he was as heavy as he was. He already knew it was big. When he looked in the mirror, he could see it. You don't have to get on the scale to see that you're big. You don't have to get on the scale to see that you have gray hair, you don't have to, look in the mirror to know you have gray hair. I mean, you know yourself better than anybody else. You know your flaws. You know the things you want to change. We all have that. But that's what makes us who we are. And it's okay to be who you are. And that's what I like. I like real. I want people to be real. And I think with my subscribers, that's what I have. I have real, and that's what I like. So, the saga continues, neighbors, about, do you like to get on the scale? Do you not like to get on the scale? Do you like to tell your age? Do you not like to tell your age? Do you like gray hair? Do you not like gray hair? Now, I used to highlight my hair when I worked out in the working world all the time. But then when the big, C thing happened to the whole world, I couldn't get out because of my autoimmune. So all the highlights grew out of my hair, and it turned to this brown color. And I thought, well, that's not a bad color. I think I'm going to leave it like that through the winter. Well, here it is spring, and I'm thinking, well, do I need to highlight it, or maybe I'll just leave it like this? But I don't know. But I'll make that choice, and it'll be my choice. And just like you'll make choices with your how you fix your hair, if you wear makeup or not wear makeup. I mean, I don't base my friendship with someone on what color hair they have, if they wear makeup or not, what kind of clothes they wear, how much money they have, what kind of influence they have with other people. No, my friendship with you, my neighbors, is based on who you are and how great of neighbors you are. Because I can speak to anyone, get along with anyone, no matter if you're a millionaire or you're a pauper. I don't care. That does not matter to me. I don't base my friendship with someone on their status or what they think their status is in life. I don't. I base it on the individual and what I see, see in their soul and their heart, and how they speak to people and how they act toward others, and if they're kind, stuff like that. Material things and what other people have is none of my business. I mean, how much money somebody makes, it's not my business. It's your business. So, just so you know, neighbor, I want you to put down in the comments things that are your pet peeve, things that you don't like, things that you'd rather not tell people. What's been going on with you? I had to go to the doctor yesterday. I had to get a checkup. Have you been well? Have things been going okay with you? I want to know. Because here's the thing. Each morning that I get up, I have this prayer time. And I pray for each and every one that has asked for prayer. And even when I go into chats that people that ask for prayer, and they say they would like, for the chat to pray for them, I put their name on the list. And I pray for them. And if you need prayer, put it down in the list. I will be glad to put you on my prayer list. That's just what I do. I do things like that. You may not operate like that and do things, but that's what I do. I'm here all day by myself most of the time. I don't really have a lot to do. I can't go out. Y'all have heard this over and over again. And I'm not whining. I'm just saying it's my life. But springtime's coming, and I am going to be able to get out more. James is going to have a garden, so I'm going to be videoing the garden and us watching him tend to his garden spot, and me reaping the benefits of it, and the fresh fruit and the fresh vegetables and things like that. But I have been cooped up most of the winter and kept myself occupied. But please tell me something about you down in the comment. We are neighbors. I want to know about you. I want to know things you like, don't like. So just remember, put in the chat. I'll be looking forward to seeing what you put in the chat. So for now, neighbors, until we have another talk, like, share, subscribe. Oh goodness, let's don't forget, ring that bell so you'll know the next time that I get ready to come on and do a video and us have our little neighborly talk. Now, I hope this hadn't been too hard on you all about discussing age and weight and gray hair and things like that. I hope it hadn't been, because I've enjoyed it, because I love to hear other people's opinion on what they think about it. So until then, bye, neighbor.